There are a few scenes that need to be in your memoir. One of them we've already discussed, and it's that one scene that explains your whole life. And in this video, we're going to look at that turning point or that breaking point scene that needs to be in your memoir. Hello, I'm Brenda. This is Write Your Story, and I love to help you to write your memoir. So what is so important about this turning point or breaking point scene? Well, it's quite evident in the name or the title that I've given the scene. Some people actually call it the locked in scene, because this is the scene that's going to lock your reader in. But essentially, this scene is the scene where either you reach a turning point in your story, this turning point where you come to a conclusion that actually everything that's come before has brought you to a point where you now need to make a change. Something in your story has caused you to say, so far, no further this way, I need to do something differently. I can no longer continue to appease my parents and live the life they want me to live, to fulfill their dreams. I have my own dreams. Those are the dreams I'm going to fulfill. And there's a turning point that brings you to this realization. So what is that scene? What happened in that scene? How did this scene become the turning point for you? Perhaps it's a breaking point scene. Perhaps there's something you've been striving for, something you've been trying to keep, perhaps a marriage together, or you've been trying to rescue your child who has a drug addiction, or there's something else going on in your life that brings you to a point where you cannot do this any longer either. You have reached your breaking point. Perhaps the breaking point is that you are the problem. You are the one with the addiction. You are the one with the obsessive behavior. There's something about your behavior that has brought a breaking point in your relationships, your marriage, your work, your career success, or something. Those are the turning points. Those are the breaking points. And those are the scenes that are really crucial to make sure that you've got them well structured and well written so that you can lock the reader into those scenes. And this is why. As you've written your memoir, as you've structured it well and explained your story and actually written from a heart level, which we've discussed before, and not from a one-dimensional level, once you've exposed your heart, you've written, you've well structured your memoir, and you've taken your reader on this journey, they are already going to have seen what's at stake. They're going to have seen this predicament that you are in. You may write it in such a way that you're the innocent in this, and you actually come across as not even knowing that this is a problem you have, because that's how you've structured your memoir. Or you could, like me, have written your memoir always dropping little hints along the way that you have this problem and you're aware of it, but there's still some innocence in how it's playing out. The point is that in writing your memoir and structuring it, your reader already sees your predicament. It's quite clear for them. They're waiting for that moment when you're actually going to acknowledge it. You're actually now not going to live in denial anymore, or you're actually going to voice it. Or there's going to be that aha moment that you wake up and go, what am I doing? And the lock-in is that your reader goes, she's seen it, he's aware of it, and now I want to see what they're going to do about it. The lock-in becomes that they want to know, they're invested at this point to find out how you're going to solve this. And are you actually going to succeed? An element that this scene is going to have is this acknowledgement of what's at stake. If one of the things at stake is the fact that you say, so far, no further, I'm no longer going to live the dreams of my parents. Your relationship with your parents is at stake. What is that going to look like? If you are at a crossroads in your life where the breaking point is your alcohol addiction and your marriage is at stake, what is going to happen? Is your marriage going to survive? There will be a cost to you to change. There will be a cost to you when you reach that breaking point or that turning point. And what is that cost? So what is the breaking point or turning point scene in your memoir? What brought you to that point? What does that scene actually look like? Write that scene. Show it to us. What is the dilemma that you now face, that you're acknowledging, that we as the reader have seen unfolding? But what is the cost going to be to you? What is at stake? And that is something you're looking for in your memoir. Is this turning point, this breaking point that changes the trajectory of your life in some shape or form? So if you know what that is, I'd love to hear about it. So do subscribe and click on the notification bell if you're wanting to find out about other scenes that you do need to have in your memoir. I look forward to seeing you in my next video as we talk about how to write a memoir.